swiping left. It's a classic move on Tinder as a way to say no to something. Not a good match, not a good fit, not something I want or need in my life right now. Today I'm going to explain how swiping left has improved my sleep, my focus, and my quality of life. I'll explain how I use it multiple times a day and how you should too. So let's do it. So I've been in a committed relationship for over 10 years. Tinder and a bunch of the other dating apps were coming out just as I was falling in love. So I never got to use them. And nothing against the love of my life, but I kind of feel like I missed out. I loved dating, and those would have been really fun apps for me. That being said, I never got to swipe. I had to look it up. Apparently, swiping left means no to a potential match, and swiping right means yes. So how has swiping improved my sleep and my brain? Well, it's not from staying away from creepy people out there who might be preying on innocent victims. The whole concept came up in one of my therapy sessions, of all places. So yes, I have a counselor. I love counseling. One of the tenets of my life is to keep improving, to learn from my past experiences, to explore who I am as a person, and keep evolving over time. So in this particular session, I was sharing how my body tends to fall asleep really easily, and I'm sleeping, until somehow in the middle of the night, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, some random sound wakes me up, and then my brain and my body says, "Oh, you've had enough sleep. I should solve all my problems." And I'm suddenly transported to the land of solving every one of my problems, random things that have happened, stupid things that I'm worried about for the future, all the things that somehow mean something bad for me, or my family, or my practice, or just my life in general. And if any of you are like me, this ruins your night of sleep. You lie there for minutes or hours. You don't get any resolution on the thing that you're thinking about, and you wake up in the morning feeling really cruddy because you had a bad night of sleep. Today's theme was a mistake I made in my practice. So I had an attorney call me and they talked to me about testifying as an expert witness for a particular case where some older person was, from their estimation, being manipulated in some way. And we talk briefly about the case, and I say I'd be happy to help and work with you, and the attorney says great. And I don't really do anything to clarify my level of involvement, to get any kind of commitment, to really solidify what's going on. We hang up the phone. Well, 6 months later, I haven't heard from this attorney. I don't know if he's ever going to call me back. And I get a call from a different attorney, the attorney on the opposing side, who starts talking about the same case. Now, I didn't actually commit to the first person. We don't have anything in writing, but he told me a little about the case. I don't know if he's ever going to call me back. And here I have someone else who wants to hire me today to be able to see this person and evaluate and have an unbiased report. Of course I would do that, but is there a conflict of interest? So I call my attorney. I explain what happened, and he says, well, in order to be safe, you probably shouldn't work with either side now. Turns out everybody's unhappy. Both the sides of the attorneys are unhappy. I'm unhappy. So 3 o'clock in the morning, here I am thinking away about this, and I really wanted to stop thinking about it. I wasn't solving anything, but I couldn't get my mind to leave the scene of the crime. As I shared this with my therapist, this is a man maybe in his 60s or so. He's been in a happily committed relationship for years. And he says casually, "Do you know how to swipe left?" I look at him like he's crazy, and he's obviously not listening to my problem. I'm not on a dating app. And this isn't about the world in that way. It's about my sleep and my crazy mind that hijacks me, and how it hijacks me at other times of the day too. And what a jerk he is for not even listening and being on top of what I'm saying or tracking the problem. But he goes on to explain, and it gets a little weirder. He starts talking about how he swipes left when he's on the toilet in the morning. And I'm thinking, oh boy, okay, here's this guy who's unhappy in his relationship, and as soon as he gets out of bed and he's on the toilet, he starts looking for a new partner, and he's swiping left and so on. Not what I want to be talking about. But I digress. He goes on to say he's not actually talking about dating apps, and it starts making more sense. He's talking about his runaway mind, or all of our runaway minds. Now, I'm really into mindfulness. Not the trendy, popular, meditate and it's going to fix your whole life. but this ancient Buddhist way of being in the world that can help make your life richer and calmer and more present and more focused. If you've read or listened to the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, you'll understand this idea of being in the now. And I'm not going to go into detail about the book. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out yourself. But there are some relevant concepts here, some basic principles that I'm referencing. Our mind is like a tool that we can use to interact with the world, to plan or problem solve or be more efficient in some way. Our mind often takes the course of some out of control artificial intelligence and hijacks our mind at the least opportune times. Our mind takes control of our experience, dragging us here and there and having us focus on all these unproductive things. Not in a way that actually solves a problem and gets results, but in a way that really keeps us going in loops and feeling stuck and unfocused and confused. So we spend hours ruminating over things that happened in the past or anticipating and trying to prevent 50 different versions of the future that are never going to happen. So one revelation, if you take anything from this video, is that our mind is like a movie. We are watching the movie, the flow of information, whatever crazy thing it is that we're thinking about. We are watching it and we are not in it. Like a movie, the thoughts that we focus on can cause big emotions. Horror movies are scary. Sometimes our thoughts are scary or threatening or whatever big emotion that we think we need to experience. But also like a movie, our thoughts don't define reality. We aren't in the horror movie, we're watching it. When we watch a movie, we can detach from it. We can walk out of the theater or shut it off. If you don't realize that idea and start to work with that more productively, you're always going to be trapped in the movie and subject to whatever it is your mind wants to focus on. Once you do understand this idea, you can start swiping. It works like this. Go to bed, so tired, fall asleep, sleep well. Wake up at 2 or 2:30 or 3 and instantly jolted into problem solving, ruminating, thinking about whatever kind of problem mode. The movie has begun. Recognize, oh yes, here's the screen, much like a dating app. And here's what I'm thinking about. Is this relevant to me? Is this serving me? Can I do something productive with this right now? If yes, swipe right, continue, have fun. If no, which is the obvious choice for these kind of ruminations at 2 or 3 in the morning, swipe left. Literally, envision the screen with your thoughts or your worries or all the things that are coming up for you. Envision it and envision your hand swiping left. Gone. Bam. So now what? In real life Tinder, you swipe left, that one disappears, and a new one pops up, and another, and another. In your real life mind, you swipe left and get rid of one idea, and the next idea is just waiting to take its place. Maybe a copy of the old one, or maybe a brand new version. This is where you get to decide, where do I want to focus? Where do I want to be living right now? At night, the focus is on your relaxed body, your relaxed mind, and the floaty feeling that lets you drift off back to sleep. So start to experiment with what works for you. I sometimes use the version of a body scan, which is a mindfulness idea, where you start with maybe your toes or your feet, and you slowly scan through your body, envisioning each body part one at a time and checking for what is there. Maybe there's tension, maybe there's stress, maybe there's some kind of sensation. You can ask if your body wants to release and let go and be more gentle, or you can accept what's there and let it be okay. Sometimes I use the back of my eyelids. I envision the color that I see when I close my eyes. It's a good idea to be having your eyes closed at night. And I focus repeatedly on that color. And that simple visualization and focus lets me let go of the other thoughts. Every time another thought or idea or worry comes to mind, I visualize that and swipe left, letting it go. This allows me to stay away from problem solving and to focus on my body in a way that can be calming and relaxing and allowing it to be resting, if not falling asleep. I keep using this when I get up. No wonder my therapist said he uses it on the toilet. Of course, your mind starts racing as soon as you wake up and you wander your way into the bathroom. Oh, I should check my email. I should think about work. I should think about relationships. This is especially prominent when you bring your smartphone with you to kick off the process. Open that one up, and all of a sudden you have access to everything. Politics, world conflict, your brother's wedding coming up in 3 days. So much stress. Ways that I should be acting and looking and thinking and growing or glowing that I'm not. No to it all because I swipe left on the idea of even opening up my phone or going there. By staying present on the toilet, when I brush my teeth, when I'm eating breakfast, when I'm interacting with my darling kiddos, when I'm driving on my way to work, I stay more focused, more present, more calm, more able to be engaged and loving. My brain is working better. I'm not swept away. I'm not hijacked. There's plenty of time to check email. There is a good allocated time to watch bunnies on Instagram or Facebook. There is a space in my life to change the way that I interact with attorneys and set clear boundaries when they call me. But this is not at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning when my problem solving isn't going to work, or when I'm talking to my little dude about his favorite bad guy game. When I decide to use my mind and do it constructively, it works well, and it's not using me. So if this information is useful to you, the idea of swiping left on information that you don't want or need in the moment, then share it with your friends. And feel free to subscribe to the This Beautiful Brain newsletter, where I send out ideas, tips, thoughts, constructive things that you can use every single week on brain health and quality of life. I'll see you there.